Imagine if a huge part of the earth breaks off and falls into the ocean, and 100 feet high waves wash away entire cities, or a supervolcano explosion drops the world's temperature so much that we enter a new ice age, or a poisonous monster awakens from under the ice whose heat destroys every corner of the world. This is not a science fiction story, but natural threats that can end human life in a single blow. Welcome back to Past Empires videos. Today we will talk about 4 sleeping natural disasters on Earth that have the full potential to destroy the world. According to scientists, the ego of these natural disasters is confirmed, but when do? We first talk about the Doomsday Glacier. By the way, its name is the Thwaites Glacier, but why is it called the Doomsday Glacier? You will find out in a short time. We all know that the ocean level is increasing day by day and new problems are arising for humans, but how big the challenges will be and how much time we have left depends on this Doomsday Glacier located in the west of Antarctica, which is more than a kilometer deep in many places, that is. It is deeper than the height of the Burj Khalifa. In addition to being deeper, it is also 120 kilometers wide, which makes it the widest glacier in the world. Spread over an area of 192,000 square kilometers, this glacier is so large that 318 cities like Mumbai or 50 cities like Karachi can fit inside it. For the past several years, this glacier has been melting much faster than the entire Antarctic, which has so far increased the sea level by 4%. But the most dangerous thing is its location. Thwaites Glacier is part of the entire West Antarctic ice sheet, so it is a small part, but its melting will cause the entire ice sheet to collapse. There is a risk of melting, which could cause sea levels to rise by 3 meters or about 10 feet in the coming years. This is because the Thwaites Glacier is located right in the middle of the West Antarctic ice sheet. Experts say that the West Antarctic ice sheet depends entirely on the Thwaites Glacier. If it is not stopped from melting, it will submerge the entire West Antarctic ice sheet, due to which the cities on the coast will be ruled by seawater. Among these cities, the names of cities like Mumbai, New York, Jakarta, Gorka, Bangkok and Dhaka come to the top. As seen in this animation, this is the Antarctic ice sheet. It is quite deep in the middle, because the snowfall that has been falling for centuries has made it thicker in the middle. As it is getting thicker in the middle, the glaciers are coming out towards the Antarctic Ocean due to their weight. The glaciers that are coming out, which have water under them, are called ice shelves. It is said that global warming is warming both the water and the air, due to which the ice shelves on both sides are also melting, but at different speeds. Because the land level in the east of Antarctica is above the ocean, the water here does not reach the glaciers and the ice here melts slowly. But West Antarctica is different. Most of it is below sea level. This means that water can go under it and weaken it further and melt it quickly. This is why West Antarctica is considered the most important part of the ice in the world in terms of climate change. To understand it properly, look at the survey map of the land below Antarctica. In its east, the land is higher than sea level, which is shown in red and yellow, while in its west, where the land is shown in blue, it is all below sea level. This dark blue part is the lowest, and this is where Doomsday is. Glacier filled, this ice shelf is hanging above the water, while the ocean water below it has hollowed it out. With each passing year, its pieces break off and mix with the ocean, and the ocean water is hollowing it out further from below. Since 1992, ocean water has hollowed it out 14 kilometers deep. If things continue at this speed, soon this entire glacier will break off and fall into the Antarctic Ocean. The Thwaites Glacier, which has already raised sea levels by 4% in the last 30 years, will raise the level of all oceans by half a meter if it melts completely. This time may not be far off, because researchers have already found a huge crack in the Doomsday Glacier, which is now beyond anyone's control. The question is not whether the Thwaites Glacier will break, but when. As you know, this thing can invite a huge disaster. The West Antarctic ice sheet. There is no doubt that after this happens, the melting process will also be triggered in this ice sheet, which will raise the level of the ocean by 3 meters. If this happens, coastal cities will have to be evacuated suddenly. According to a survey by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the cities that will be affected by this will currently have more than 1 billion people living there. When all those people move to higher areas, the economic disintegration of the entire world will occur. Balance will be seen. In addition to this, rapid changes will be seen in the weather of the whole world, in which dangerous tsunamis, hurricanes and floods will become very common. Now let's talk about the Yellowstone Supervolcano. The Yellowstone Supervolcano is located in the Yellowstone National Park in the state of Wyoming, USA. It is an active volcano system that is one of the largest and most dangerous supervolcanoes in the world. Yellowstone is not just a small mountain that can erupt. It is a supervolcano that contains a lot of magma, for example molten rock. If it erupts, its effects will not be limited to America, but the whole world will face destruction. Yellowstone is located inside a large caldera that is approximately 70 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide. This means that it is like a giant crater that was formed after old volcanic eruptions. Experts believe that this supervolcano erupts once every 6 to 7 million years. The last time it erupted was about 640,000 years ago, and before that there was a major explosion 1.3 million years ago, and before that 2.1 million years ago. Looking at its past record, it would not be wrong to say that the Yellowstone supervolcano could erupt at any time in the next 60,000 years. If the Yellowstone supervolcano erupts, its impact will not be limited to just one country, but it can easily engulf the entire world. It will destroy any city within a radius of 1,000 kilometers in a single blow. Due to the explosion, it will release gases like volcanic ash and sulfur dioxide into the air, which will change the climate of the entire world. The ash clouds will be so thick that sunlight will not be able to reach the earth for the next several years, due to which the temperature of the earth will drop. This phenomenon is called volcanic winter. Crops will stop growing and there will be a shortage of food and drink all over the world. Even if they survive, diseases will break out among them. Due to the presence of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, rain will not be in the form of water, but in the form of acid. According to reports, if Yellowstone erupts today, at least 70% of the world's population could disappear. Now it's time for the Combre Veha volcano. 700 miles from the northwest coast of Africa are the Canary Islands of Spain. Here, this island called La Palma was formed 4 million years ago due to the Combre Veha volcano. This volcano is still active today and can become a great danger to the world. During the last 60 years, volcanic eruptions have created a fault line and a crack in this island, which can also be seen on Google Earth. This crack is located 6,000 feet above the sea. Scientists say that if a major eruption occurs, the damage caused by the release of lava will be on one side, but a large part of the island could fall into the ocean. Geologists believe that if the fault line cracks completely, rocks weighing about 500 billion tons will slide into the ocean at a speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Due to this landslide, the ocean water will jump out for about a kilometer, which will start a series of tsunamis that will leave their impact in every corner of the world. Experts have called it a mega-tsunami. These waves will travel up to 4,000 miles in every direction of the ocean. Europe, America and Africa will be badly affected. Waves greater than 100 feet will shake the entire system, even in coastal cities. The volcano of La Palma is a time bomb that can explode at any time, and its effect will not only last until the Canary Islands, but the whole world can be affected by it. But because this slide is tilted towards the west, it is believed that the east coast of America, where Miami and Orlando are, will have the greatest impact. If the cities are not evacuated in time, a mega tsunami can take millions of lives. And now let's talk about the permafrost. 11% of our world is permafrost ground, that is, that part of the earth whose temperature is less than 0 degrees Celsius for 12 months of the year. Permafrost is mostly found in polar regions, including half of Canada, 2/3 of Russia and the Tibetan Plateau. Most of these permafrost have been there for the past millions of years. It was in the same condition, but not now. Above the permafrost layer is an active layer that freezes in winter but melts back in summer. The permafrost layer below this layer remains below 0 degrees Celsius all year round. Due to this, permafrost acts like a deep freezer. For millions of years, plants, animals, and microorganisms have been frozen in this permafrost and remain in reserve, their decomposition process never starting. However, due to global warming, the active layer of permafrost is getting deeper every year, and thousands of years old animals are emerging from here in the same condition as they were at the time of their death. When permafrost melts, the organic matter in it starts to decompose. Bacteria start eating it and release methane gas. Experts believe that 4 times more carbon is trapped in permafrost than all the pollution in the world today, and it is slowly released into the atmosphere. When so many greenhouse gases enter the atmosphere, the average temperature of the world will increase by 8 degrees Celsius, which will cause the glaciers to melt. The melting of glaciers will disrupt the supply of fresh water in the world. The sea level will rise by 5 meters, and such a climate change will be seen that it will be impossible for humans to live near the equator. Most people think that the melting of permafrost is a disaster in the future, but in fact the beginning of this disaster has already begun. Every year, the active layer of permafrost is getting thicker and thicker in different parts of the world. The living proof of this in Siberia is this Batagaika crater, which was formed due to the melting of permafrost and its sinking into the ground, and is now getting bigger every year. If the process of melting permafrost continues in the same way, which is not in anyone's hands to stop, then in the next 50 to 70 years, the world will be in a state of extreme cold. 70% of the permafrost will melt. Even if fossil fuels are eliminated today, it is still impossible to stop the permafrost from melting. I hope you will like and share this video of past empires. Thank you very much for your loving comments. I will see you in the next wonderful video.